Hi, my name is Vishwaraj Jadeja. I do ice skating for the Indian national team, preparing for the Winter Olympics 2022 with 65 national records for India and 220 races and more. World's highest 5 kilometers, unofficial. Yeah, that's it. My name is Vishwaraj once again.
Okay, thank you so much, Vishwaraj. And hello, everyone. मैं हूं सप्पे भारी आकाश तिवारी. As a sports person, how are you earning? How do you earn?
It is a very complicated question because when you start pursuing a sport, you never think about the money or the earning aspect of it, right? So especially when you put on the India jersey, there's no money is not on your mind because that is something which is come secondary. And to me, I think it is, as I said, it's a complicated question. I cannot give you a straight answer, but let's say I'm keeping myself afloat. There are multiple sources of support which comes to me. As an athlete, Gujarat government, for example, has been very kind enough to support a part of my training and a part of my process since 2017, 16-17. So the 16-17 season. Every year I get a chunk of support from them. There is crowdfunding campaigns. I provide a lot of motivation talks, which is very interesting. This year I realized I've become very expensive also because somebody said that, hey Vishwanath, this is very expensive. I was like, well, premium things cost money, that's it. And that's something which I am very clear on, and there's no negotiating there. It's my life story which I am talking about, and it is a unique experience which has happened. So that is one of those things. There's a lot of crowdfunding campaigns happening, and this is all behind the scenes because we realized that crowdfunding campaigns on social media for a story like mine has not worked in the past as much as they should have. And there's obviously there's a lot of partners who are helping out behind the scenes. So yeah.
Rejected by 1100 companies, 111 companies. Okay, rejected by 111.
117 हो गया अभी.
Oh shit, rejected by 117 companies. Okay, broken ribs, back problem, tissue problem. Okay, अकेला रहना for so long, and then all your friends know, all your people around you, the close one, know that you are in Netherlands and you're doing this alone and stuff. Okay, and uske pehle you were doing roller skating. Okay, you were the roller skating captain in Indian team. You did it for 10 years.
The vice captain for the national team for inline hockey, and I was the top performer in 2008 at the World Championships for India.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not no problem at all. It's I'm here to give my input. So I like the thing is I like the questions instead. Like people ask me questions, then I can solve them and I can make people understand this. But at times क्या होता है कि people just assume कि नहीं ये तो ऐसा ही होगा ना, and sometimes also the journalists or bloggers, they just translate what I've said into something completely different, which is fine, which happens all the time obviously. But as I said, my sport is small in India and I'm a small person, so I have to make sure that whatever messages goes from my end is very clear and it is very well.
You're not a small person, dude. You're not a small person.
Like if you look at the whole universe, and on the whole, the Earth is very insignificant. We're a small rock, and I'm a little guy on that small rock. So I guess I'm very insignificant, but I'm trying to make sure that I make my mark. That is it.
Yeah. So you did roller skating for 10 years. You shifted to skating, ice skating, and then so much of problems, injuries. You wanted to enter into 2018 Olympics, couldn't happen. You're still continuing for 2022 Olympics. Okay. You're 34 years. I'm right? इसमें तो right हूँ? 35. इसमें भी right नहीं. 35 years. Okay. Still pursuing the 2022 dream of Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay. There's so much of pressure, and what happens is कि जब इतने सारे लोग होते हैं and they know you're doing something for such a long time, तो जब भी एक interaction होता है ना, तो they unknowingly they'll say अरे तेरा Olympics का क्या हुआ, or what is happening around you, तेरा scene क्या चल रहा है, stuff like this. And it's not offensive, but they unknowingly ask you this, and वो खुद पे बहुत problem होता है. That starts the self doubt process कि you'll say कि हाँ चल रहा है, ठीक चल रहा है, and then inside you're like मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, like 10, 15, 20 years हो गए. Like, am I doing something right? Maybe that's going to be my last Olympics. Okay. So 80% of the people, after some time, they leave it. वो ना होता है ना कि यार try किया, नहीं चल रहा था, अभी छोड़ दे, अब next करते हैं.
99% of the people.
99% of the people. I agree with you. Okay, yes. 99% of the people, they leave.
Because over even my journey as a roller skater
and onwards to the ice skating, I have had so many teammates who were so much better than me. So much better than me. I mean, they were better at skating, and the way the skill set was so much better than me. But it's only the thing is I outlasted a lot of them, or actually most of them. And over the years, also what has happened is, knowingly or unknowingly, I've started to distance myself from a lot of people around who don't understand what I'm doing. And that also happened automatically. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to, like, if you don't respect my journey, why do you expect me to respect your journey? And it's not like wo kya bolte hain, it's not a tit for tat thing. It's just that I'm doing something very interesting and important for me, and I need to focus on the positives, and I need to focus on the training and all of that. And if that is distracting me, then I will not even think about twice ke nahi isko nikalna hi nahi. It's just they're there, I know, but I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm sorry, it's just not possible. It's just not possible. And it's not like there's a lot of people. There's a lot of pressure. Pressure is as much as you put on yourself. And obviously, I've been putting immense amount of pressure on myself since '99. That yeah, if I'm performing and if I'm doing a sport, I want to be the best there is, or I want to be, I mean, top of the country. Yeah, fine, it's possible. And obviously, staying there for such a long time, also, for a long distance skating, it's just incredible. Which I am surprised at times. Ki yaar, we are over a billion people. There will be somebody who will be faster than me at some point, obviously, and I'm waiting for that day. On short distances, obviously, there are other people who are faster than me, and the long distances is yeah.
Dude, long distance, congratulations for your win. Huh? I was coming to that part, but yeah. So that's the second part of my question was, that's what I'm saying. So many people leave, and you told me that you distance yourself. It's automatic process. You automatically distance yourself with those kind of people. Okay? Those people who leave, it's not like उनका complete fault नहीं है. They are wired that way maybe, or they leave after some point कि नहीं success मिल रहा है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा, तो let's try something else, and that's totally fine. And what you're doing, that's also totally fine. What I want to ask you is, maybe those kind of, agar suppose if I have left that career after 3-4 years and I'm seeing you doing it even after 15 years, okay, I would see कि मैंने ऐसा क्या किया, मतलब मेरे को regret होगा. And you can't stop those thoughts. अगर मैंने कभी, if I'm your friend and मैं अगर आपको पूछता हूँ, अरे तेरा Olympics का क्या सीन हुआ, and you haven't gone there till now, तो you बाद में क्या होता है, थोड़ा वो आता है self doubt and the thoughts, you can't stop it.
The thing is, the good friends will never ask me that question. They don't even ask me about training. They're just like, क्या चल रहा है, oh ये कर रहे हो, okay, ठीक है, किधर हो, हाँ चलो, oh इधर इंडिया में आए हो, चलो किधर हो अभी, इधर दिल्ली में हो, चलो मैं आ रहा हूँ. So the good friends will find a way to support you whenever necessary and whenever possible. And the ones who are obviously, trying to pull your leg, they are not even around for 10 years. Yes, sir. So I've never had that. I have never had that, I think, over the years. And I think my friends also realize that now कि यार ये तो कमीना है एक नंबर का, इसको उंगली करी तो वो तो ऐसे ही बंद कर देगा. He doesn't care about what other people say. And I mean, दुनिया क्या कहेगी उसमें, तो यार, and that is the end of the whole. So Gandhi ji would not have helped us revolutionize, India. So
that hit me hard, huh? Ki good friends would ask you, oh shit.
Like good friends either will provide solution or they will provide alcohol. Either of the two, so and that too only in off season. Now also they know, like, only in off season we can provide this. Either provide solution or provide support. There's no other way. So they also know कि यार मेरा भी limit है. No problem. So chalo, let us sit and chill.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. And that's great. That's great. Because what I do is, like, because I am doing podcasts with so many people, because you can't control your thoughts. Now, once I started doing podcasts, now that helped me a lot to control the negative thoughts. Because automatically I was talking to you guys, and it's like automatically positiveness, optimism aa jata hai. So that negative thought.
Podcast is also a very
good way of therapy. I feel ki, it is a very good therapeutic way of getting things out there, understanding yourself.
Yeah. True. That's it. So yeah, thank you so much. Damn, वो friends वाला part तो hit हो गया यार. मतलब मैं अभी भी वो वाला ही इसमें हूँ कि oh shit. And
I mean, why do you?
I mean, if you are very clear on what you want to do, how does it matter what others have to say?
I think it's true, but in the beginning it's difficult to understand, and it's not like कि तुझे सब कुछ समझ जाएगा. You need to do something.
like अभी भी कुछ नहीं आता है मेरे को.
Yeah.
You had to follow up so rigorously to get me here, right? Which I appreciate very much. There's like 15 other people who want to do this.
Yeah.
But the schedule is such कि यार, I'm doing an elite sport. This year we only cycled 6,000 kilometers in the summer. to get ready for the winter season, So that's just, that cycling 6,000 was a part of the whole bigger training aspect. To understand that prospect and understanding that as an athlete, making that understand to your supporters, making that understand to people who are going to fund you or sponsor you, that whole process is so big. And so why would I be bothered कि यार मेरा एक दोस्त है ना, उसने मेरे को आज उसे उंगली करी, मैं अभी क्या करूं? I'm like, why? Hello, पूरी दुनिया, the world is not waiting. Sorry, the world doesn't care about you.
True. Yeah, agree. And that's great, dude. So okay, the next thing is, like, before getting into the elite sport part, I know you and your audience obviously knows what's Winter Olympics, what your sport is, but can you just explain in short difference between Summer and Winter Olympics? Because what happens is, if I just say Jadeja, okay, if I just say Jadeja, or if I just say Olympics, there's going to be 1 million views. But if I say Vishwaraj Jadeja, or if I say Winter Olympics, it'll be like, kya? So people don't know that there's Winter Olympics, there's that.
So Winter Olympics has, is a part of the Olympic Charter. Obviously, it comes under the International Olympic Committee. It happens once in 4 years. Alternatively, so like if this year the Summer Olympics were there, 2 years later it's the Winter Olympics, and then again 2 years later it's the Summer Olympics. Winter Olympics is all about the winter sports. So everything which involves frozen lakes, frozen ice tracks, snow, cross-country skiing, downhill luge, so sledging, right, snowboarding, all of those things. My sport is ice skating, long track, speed skating, which happens on a 400-meter ice track. So the running which happens on a 400-meter track, similarly this happens on a 400-meter ice track. Okay? And it is one of those elite sports which has been there since the inception of the Winter Olympics. So Winter Olympics चालू है तब का ये sport उसमें है. So it is like a traditionally old sport. It's one of the most hardest sports to be able to prepare and qualify for the Olympics. Also, just like the 100-meter run in Summer Olympics, to give you a relation, Summer Olympics में the 100-meter run has been there forever. That is why the Olympics started. Olympics started because the two sides came together and they wanted to fight. No, let's stop war. Let's let strongest man from your side and strongest man from our side will run 100 meters. The one who wins the war. Whatever, So that was the idea behind the Olympics. And so fast forward so many years, and here we are. Yeah, so this is the Winter Olympics. This is like a big overall understanding. India has had somebody called Shiva Keshavan, who's a very dear friend, who has participated in the Winter Olympics 6 times, which is very unique and very, very, very unique and very rare. The only person who has had more Olympics, let's just say more Olympic Games, is Leander Pace, which is at 7. That's it. So even in the Summer Olympics, there's like people, nobody's been able to go so far apart from Leander Pace, obviously.
There's this great thing you have done, that you have paved a path. एक ऐसा एक बंदा होता है जिसको ना ऐसा घिसना पड़ता है, आगे तक चलना पड़ता है. Then there are a lot of people who follow. So you are that kind of a person, and you did that. So thank you so much for that. But suppose if you are a 22-year-old Vish, okay. So what would have been that one thing which you'll say कि यार ये मैं इसको ऐसे कर लिया होता. That one thing.
No, I mean I would not want to change anything actually, because those choices and those those pathways which I took has brought me here, and I'm very happy where I am, in spite of all the hardships and all of those things which I enjoy. So I don't think I'd like to change anything, per se, to be honest. I'll be like, it's just, I think embracing the situation you're in is the only way you forward for you. So that's for me, it's very clear,
Okay. Yeah. So okay, now this is something like a random questions which I'm going to ask you. So tell me one of the shittiest moment in your entire career.
Shittiest moment in which career? Roller skating or ice skating?
Whichever is the most shittiest moment. I know that.
The most the shittiest is the last one, because I think most shittiest. Let's see, most shittiest. Yeah, I don't know actually. I can't choose. It's just because I think as I said, once I have started to accept, who I am as a person.
Okay, ice skating. Let's go. One shittiest moment.
I was living with 3 Indian roommates.
Okay.
And at some point, we had a huge fight in the household, and they were like, this was December in Scandinavia, so that is like it's really cold and it's snowing and all of those things. And in the middle of the night, we had a very bad fight about some nonsensical things, and they came from a small village in India, and they didn't even speak proper English. But for some reason, I was the big city boy. I was from Ahmedabad. That's not a big city. And for them, and they're like, yeah, you're not doing the dishes yesterday, so what is wrong with you, this and that. And I was like, what? And that was building up for a long time. And I was like, yeah, they were like, yeah, why are you doing your sports? Sports is not necessary or not important and whatever. And I was like, oh, dude, sorry. I just picked up everything. I picked up my one bag, my skate bag, my bicycle, my skates, my helmet, and then I just left. It was the middle of the night. Spent the night at the train station, and in the morning, yeah, started all over again, and that was it. And it was my people who literally in that moment, I was more like, yeah, these are the assholes. I'm kind of sorry, don't mind my language, but are the assholes for whom I am putting on the jersey and going out there. But obviously, I was very naive at the time. That was not the right way to think. But yeah, I was just like, I was done. As a human person, they were not the people worth it. And you're far away from home. These are the only 3 Indian people you know, and they're the ones who are kind of treating you like that. And then I'm just like, it's okay, doesn't matter. Focus on what you have to do. And so I think that night on the train station kind of changed me a lot. So
yeah, shit. Yeah, I mean, because I know that you also met
Himachal Pradesh, CM of Himachal Pradesh. Yes. Wonderful people. They're finally asking the right questions. So I was so impressed.
But why was it not? Why there's no progress?
No, there is progress behind the scenes, and government. This progress which I see now is faster than whatever has happened in the last 10 years. So it is. It'll take time. Again, because of COVID. If COVID did not happen, it would have already been in place. So the Himachal Pradesh government is really asking the right questions about winter sports. Uttarakhand is asking the right questions about winter sports. Ladakh is asking the right questions about winter sports. J&K, Jammu and Kashmir, is also asking the right questions about winter sports. And so I think we are in a space where a lot of right questions are finally being asked. So if the right questions are asked, they can be answered.
That's going to be crazy. Now it's your time, to answer those 3 people ki ye reason kaise maine kiya once.
नहीं मतलब वो तो भूल भी गए हम. I mean, you asked me shitty, so वो तो they are like completely insignificant for them the day after that,
Yeah.
So there was not even I mean, for me, in that moment, like the more I hang on to that is the baggage I'm carrying around. Like, nahi, mera bag, I want my bag to be light. Yeah. I have to go far. If you will, I have to go far. So jitna bag light hoga, utna far you can go. Aisa.
Okay. What are you planning next? Olympics and what are your things?
So first the Winter Olympics 2022. That is the final frontier and the only goal at the moment. In the process, we'll have like 20-30 races which are going to happen, which we will do: pre-qualification, test races, qualification races, this race, that race. So it's just all of those things will happen. Now the schedules, a lot of plans have to be adapted and changed because of the coronavirus pandemic. But in spite of that, it's just like the skating community has come together. The administration, international administration, has come together to make sure that a lot of those things are not affected. Yeah. So basically, those are the goals, and then eventually, obviously, I want to explore the Himalayas. There's like 16 frozen lakes up there. There is a plan to go and explore all of those things this year. Maybe not, but every year I want to do 1 or 2 lakes in the Himalayas from whenever it's possible, practically.
Okay.
And yeah, so
this is last thing I want to say. Like, I'll just summarize. I didn't want you to ask those cliche questions which everyone's asking you, because that part of you has been explored now.
No, absolutely. Understandable.
Okay, but there's this one thing I'm curious about. So basically, again, coming here, like briefing about the whole journey. You've done roller skating, then representing India, and you're the only Indian who's representing India in ice speed skating.
For now, yeah, there are more people, but I think I'm the only one who's doing it. Yeah, probably because there's the limitations the other athletes might have.
Yeah, so, obviously. And no one's like, the बहुत कम लोग ऐसे guts से रहता है कि pack your bags and go to Netherlands bus alone. Like that's what we see.
The thing is, the other ice skaters have probably moved to America and Canada and pursued that over there. But again, for 10 years, I think it has not been done yet. So, and obviously, because Indian winter athletes usually have to leave India and go to other places because the infrastructure in India is non-existent. or it's not at par with international standards. So when you want to compete at an international standard, you need to train at an international level facilities, so to get used to that speed, that environment, so all of those things, and it's just, it is very logical, and that is what something a lot of administrative people in India are now understanding. Yeah, you want them to perform, but if you don't give them the tools, how are they going to perform? So
yeah, so that's what I'm saying, ki right now whatever you have done, that's the most anyone can do right now. Okay, in ice.
Yeah,
so you did
absolutely.
roller skating, then ice speed skating. Okay, rejected by 117 companies for sponsorship, then getting a bit of help from everywhere after a lot of struggles. Okay, packing your bags, going to Netherlands. Before that, you were, out of 3 schools, out of 3 universities. A dream that every parent want, that my kid should be out of 3 schools and out of 3 universities.
I remember the first, I think after the first 2 schools, my parents were also like, we were waiting for this to happen. I'm like, yeah, sorry, mom. And then I think they were also not they were disappointed the first time. The second time they were more like, yaar, ye kya yaar? And then because I think the first time was the most unfair way of kicking me out, because I was doing something for the school, and then they're like, yeah, you're not given this exam. So then my parents were more disappointed. Why did you go play? And then now they were like, wait, that was actually more unfair than this. Ye kya? So it's just like, and the third time they were like, yeah, this is your fault. I'm like, yeah, okay, this one is my fault. So it was more like that. And so I think over the years, my parents also, like, they tried. I think I've not made it very easy for them to be supportive of my endeavors.
They'll be like, और आज क्या निकला, आज कौन से रीजन के
साथ, आज क्या हो रहा है यार, आज क्या हो रहा है, क्या बताओ, आज क्या करना वाला, आज क्या करने वाला. Like my mom would really say, like, I hope I go. I mean, when you go to college, I hope that I don't get a call from anybody from, like, that's my hope for the day. Aisa, like, oh yeah,
dude.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying, that's a dream of every parent, getting out of 3 schools and 3 college.
I think it was also like the university, one of the universities from which I had parted ways, I think 10 years later, invited me to do a TED talk over there, one of the other departments. That was
you'll be like, Hug Life.
That was interesting, actually, when we did that. And my girlfriend then, and my wife now, she was there with me. And she was also like, oh yeah, this one. And she could see the smirk on my face, and she was like, yeah, hey, modest. And she kind of grounds me a lot of times, that every time something like that happens, she, like, it really grounds me, which is very important and necessary. So
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Dude, kudos to your wife. And that's that's there's a lot of things required to stay for that much amount of time, being your girlfriend, then your wife, and your struggle going on, that's part of her.
Oh yeah. I think she has had the most patience, I think, with me, after my parents, for sure. And yeah, I think she enjoys she thinks it's very entertaining to see what I do. And I'm like, all right, that's like, she doesn't matter what the outcome is. She just finds it entertaining. Like, oh, this guy, oh yeah, okay, this is happening. If it's very good, then she'll be like, oh, okay, fantastic. If it's very sad, chai, coffee. Why? Like, so it's just like she also has found a way. I think when we met, she was not very serious. That she's not very serious about the fact that I was skating. Like, yeah, skating, matlab, like, skating ही कर रहे हो ना तुम? क्या ही कर लोगे? Like, he's like, I love you because you're a person and what you believe, the way you are, and not because of what you're doing. And I'm like, no, but ice skating. Like, हाँ, ठीक ही है ice skating, तो करते रहो ना तुम.
अब पता चला उसको कि अच्छा ये था.
नहीं, like, she's Dutch, okay? So in Holland, in Netherlands, they all, I mean, speed skating is like cricket here. Everybody understands gully cricket to everything, in India, for example. Everybody understands speed skating here, but it's also, again, it's such an elite sport. It's so difficult that, only the strongest of the wit and the will be able to be there. And once you meet a speed skater, you realize, oh, wow, this is special. So, and she, for her, she comes from an art and culture background. So for her to,
that's great.
Understand what I do was not that difficult. But at the same time, she was like, yeah, but this is so painful. You come home and you lay down on the ground for like half an hour and you can't move. And now it's normal. Like, if she sees me laying down on the floor because of my back or whatever, she'll be like, Should I bring you some tea here, or and that's pretty much it.
Again, the last part, what I was asking, ki you've achieved so much, you've done so much, okay, even after such
in the beginning.
No, man. Okay, it's the beginning, but you have achieved something that no one has ever achieved, and still a lot of people don't know. Okay, still a lot of people don't know. It's fine, I understand. But what I want to ask,
I mean, define a lot of people according to you.
Except for me.
No, define, like, according to you, how much is a lot of people?
Okay, so the lot of people, I'll explain. 50% of Indian population is under the age of 25. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a lot of people.
And you don't want the struggles you went through, those people going in.
But I think I would not want them to go through the education system I went through, for example.
It's changing.
What about that? So I'm just like, why would a normal Indian person follow an Indian ice skater's journey? You tell me.
That's what I want to change. That's
right.
what I want to.
Exactly. But why would, let's just say that the other day I was having the same conversation with another millennial who was writing a blog. She was like, yeah, but what should change in India? I was like, the thing is, a common man in India is not bothered about sports. He's bothered about roti kapda makan, healthcare, women's rights, women's protection, so all of those like basic things. First, if we get those basic things, I think then comes sports, and sports is not a priority. I mean, for our country right now. I'm sorry, but it isn't. Our priorities are very different, which is very normal and very common, logical. That pehle to sabko clean pani pilao or electricity do 24 घंटे. I think that starts from there, and I think beyond that, I guess obviously, I'm making it very simple, but that again, this is my journey of the last 20 years has taught me one thing: is the world doesn't care about your problems. There's enough problems in the world. Yeah. So for me, it was very difficult for me to digest that initially. यार मैं national gold. क्या बात कर रहे हैं यार, national record holder. Hello. क्या, go and wait outside the chief minister's office for 3 hours. You will know how much your gold medal matters. So I think everybody every athlete who feels very righteous, sometimes I'll tell them, you know what, you have to go outside the sports minister of your state. Sit outside and wait to meet him with your medals. Go with your medals and see what happens without any without any channels. Just go on your own. See if you can get to his door. Just do that. So I think that is a very basic that is a very basic construct which we have to accept. Ki, yeah, ye hai to hai. But now you have accepted the situation. I have accepted. Okay, now what can we do to make sure that I influence the right things so that the right things happen? That is basically it. So for me, if it's very simple, that if two people in my surrounding pick up sports and live a healthy lifestyle, I'm fine. That is a lot of people for me. Two people. Yeah. It's a lot of people for me.
Itna interviews dene ke baad bhi you would expect one thing from your own people. Like you're going to the Olympics. Okay. You would expect at least small amount of thing. Agar mila to theek hai. Nahi mila to koi problem nahi. But agar mil gaya to that would be a great help for me. What is that small thing which you're expecting but वो मिल नहीं पा रहा है? You know there's this wrong communication जो हो नहीं पा रहा है.
Nothing actually, really.
Maybe have support from me or maybe good luck from me. That would help you.
I mean, if people like see my story, watch what I do, and just a message of good wishes, that's fine. More than enough. Baki to Indian athletes are very highly motivated. Unko to, I was talking to another foundation the other day, like what can we do from our end to make sure that, like, they wanted some input on how to support the athletes. Yeah. Like what should we do on the end of the organization, on the foundations or on the federations? I like just support the athlete in whatever way you can. Good wishes, good messages, some money, enough. वो Indian athlete है ना, तो वो he's enough motivated. वो जीत लेगा, वो लड़ लेगा सबके साथ. Don't worry about it. So for me, it's also like expecting things is very it's limiting, possibilities.
Yeah.
If I expect certain things, that is limiting possibilities. If it's limitless thinking, then I might want to, not expect. I mean, I want to focus on doing instead of expecting. So it's like, people like you make me happy through the day. Like, hey, this guy, I had a nice conversation with him. Fantastic. Lovely. Made my day. Chalo, now let me go figure out how.
अब train ज़्यादा
let me नहीं, train तो ऐसे ही बहुत ज़्यादा कर रहे. Let me go now, let's go and do whatever has to be done. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy, man. I love this conversation. And did I miss something?
No, it's your party. I'm a guest.
I know that, but I just want you to add on something. If I did miss something, or maybe how
No,
did you feel? How was it?
No, fantastic. I loved it. I like the fact that it is very informal, like informal, but at the same time, you know all the facts, which is very refreshing, which is very nice. I mean, if there are wrong facts, then I mean, you are also open to my criticism or my, input. So
yeah. I have no idea how many people are gonna support you or not, but there's this one thing I want to add. कि every guy's journey is like some other
Unique.
मतलब कुछ अलग unique है, okay? And एक journey same नहीं हो सकता दूसरी journey जितना. But whatever I can do from my side, I'll be doing that. I can't ask anyone else to do something or not.
That is exactly.
But
exactly.
If someone watches this and he or she feels like that, they can join the party. If they don't, I can't do them. I can't. I just can do my thing, and I can just record it and put it in the authentic way, most authentic way.
That is more than enough. That is more than enough.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vishwaraj, for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. Cheers. Take care of yourself.
Yes, and the podcast will be up next week. Okay, it would be great if you could send me some of your photos or video. I need to add those video clips or photos in between. Like,
do you see, if you go on my Instagram page, just take whatever you want. That's no problem.
Okay,
there's videos and there's photos. Everything is whatever you need.
Can I
is
download
there.
those Instagram posts?
You can.
Okay, now maybe I can go on your website if there's some.
Google. You Google how to download the Instagram post and then they will tell you. No, you really.
Ouch.
I was also not thinking. I was genuinely thinking like maybe you should Google them. Like I wasn't even pulling your leg. I was like, oh. I was also being very nice. Like नहीं क्या कर Google कर सकते हैं या बोल दे something called Google कर like wait इसको तो पता होगा ना.
Oh shit, हाँ.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for doing this podcast, Vishwaraj, and I hope.
Thank you so much.
All my wishes and positivity and 2022 Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. नहीं